Cherry Bombs, it is me Cherry and I'm back with another video, and today I want to do a Queen and Slim review because I know that I was saying on one of my vlogs for Vlogmas that going into it originally I was just like, we don't need any more struggle, like black struggle of movies. I feel like we have an abundance of them. Like we literally just keep getting them back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like it's like, why all the black love gotta be struggle love, you know? But before I get into that video, I just want to go ahead and go over, I'll just like cover all my bases. I know my voice sounds really weird. I'm sick right now. I know I haven't been filming in forever, so I have to, well, I haven't been consistently filming forever, so I have to get back in the groove of saying like all my little things. Also, you guys, I'm now recording off of a Sony a5100, so I'm like really happy about that. I finally have a camera, so I can finally do this. I can finally record and be on my phone, thank God, because trying to record off my phone was a pain in the ass. And then also, before we get into this, you guys, I have created some merchandise for you guys finally. So I'm creeping up, like literally I'm like slowly creeping up on 30K, and I'm really excited. And I made these, which they say popped. I'm actually having the manufacturer send me some more with thicker lettering, so I will have that available for you guys soon. So just please keep an eye out for, it's flopping all over the place. Please keep an eye out for these, you guys, because I'm so excited to have these for y'all. Y'all have always been asking me about my pink hair bow, so I was like, you know what, I'm just about to make my own. So now I will have these for you guys soon. Again, I'm just waiting on like some stuff on the back end, and then those will be available for you guys. So just make sure you check it out when I do drop it. Don't be like, oh yeah, we fuck with you, we gonna get one, and then I drop them and then like 20 people order them. But yeah, so let's get right into this, you guys. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Please give this video a thumbs up so that more people can find my content. It really truly helps a lot, you guys. Like it really helps a lot. And then also turn on your notifications, because YouTube be trying me. Just make sure those are on so that when I upload, you can see me, you can see my content. And yeah, so let's get right into this. So actually I took some notes, and I was in the theater writing notes in my phone as I was watching this movie. So I would say my overall thought of Queen and Slim, before I even get into like the really gritty details and stuff, my overall thoughts on it, I did not hate the movie. Like I know a lot of people are like, I didn't like it. I didn't hate the movie, even though again, I really was just, I went because I was like, okay, let me go so I can form my own opinion of it before I just like, let me see what it's about first. I still strongly believe, like I said in my vlog, got a piece of hair lingering, I still strongly believe that we just don't be needing all these struggle black love movies we be getting. If y'all haven't watched my vlog, go watch it. But I just feel like, where are our like Titanics, where are our The Notebooks, where are our like black movies that have like normal, like everyday struggles, like if that makes sense, like black movies that aren't so we always have these like super just violent, traumatic, just ain't shit scenarios and struggles. And then it just seems like everybody else, when they get movies, they get I was saying like they get like the girl moves away and they have to figure out how to make a long distance relationship work, or the families don't like each other, or I don't know, like they just get like regular everyday struggles. And then when you get black movies, we get the man is beating the bitch ass. We get the he's cheating on her several times and doing all this crazy shit. We get the successful woman settles for some everyday bum dude. Like we just get, we just like, what, like, or we always get this ride or die culture in our movies where it's like it just literally perpetuates the whole woman sticking around through whatever a man does, even if he ain't shit, even if he whooping that ass daily, all that. Just like we get that in our movies, and I feel like other cultures don't more so get that, and it really transcends into our everyday life per se, because because we get that in our shows, we get that in our movies, we get that in our music. The black woman kind of forms this like thing where it's like almost like people feel like that's the norm. That's how you're supposed to be treated. We are, the value of whether we are deserving of love is very measured upon how much we are willing to endure. And I don't feel like other races of women more so deal with that as much as we do. So I'm gonna get into I'm gonna get into what I liked and what I didn't like about the movie. I'm gonna give a brief summary. I don't feel like y'all really need a summary, because if you're watching this video, just know there are going to be spoilers. If you're watching this video, watch this after you've already seen the movie. So I'm assuming that if you are here and you're sticking around for what I have to say, then you've already seen the movie. So just know there are going to be spoilers, and I'm not really going to go into depth summarizing the movie because, again, if you're here, you've probably already seen it. So I will just say, so the movie is basically this couple. They're not even really a couple. They're two strangers. They meet. They're on a Tinder date. It's their first date. They end up getting pulled over. They kill a cop, and then they go on the run. So, first off, one of the things, okay, so I'm just literally just going in order because I was writing this as I was watching the movie. One of the things I really didn't like at first that was driving me crazy was, I feel like the actors in the movie were, well, the two main characters were talking very, very monotone, like very, very monotone, and it was driving me insane at first. Like, I was just like, everything was, oh, why are you doing that? I mean, why are you asking me why am I doing that? I mean, it's just really annoying. Why are you doing that? Oh, okay, well, you shouldn't be like that. You should loosen up. I mean, well, I don't know. I just don't understand it. It was just like, it was very overly monotone, and I didn't feel like, I know that a lot of people have been saying that the woman who played, I think it was Angela was her real name. They never reference how the movie is named Queen and Slim, but the characters are never once called Queen or Slim. They never reference that, so I'm gonna refer to them as Queen and Slim, but in the movie that's not what they're called. But I feel like everybody's like, oh, Queen did such a good job. I honestly was not the biggest fan of her acting. I feel like it was very very monotone, very flat. Her tone wouldn't always match what was going on in the scene, I feel like, or what emotion she was trying to convey. I don't feel like her tone matched a lot of the time. So I know the majority, the popular opinion is that she did very phenomenally well. I feel like she did all right. I don't feel like she did bad. I just feel like it was all right. I was not impressed. The other actor from Get Out, Daniel, I think it's Kaluuya. I want to say that's how you say his last name. If that's not, I truly apologize. I'm not trying to pronounce it wrong on purpose at all. But his acting was good. But I mean, his acting is always, you know, you've never really had to question his acting. It's pretty good across the board. So yeah, his acting was good. I do feel like it was a little strange that instead of, because they're talking about violence that happens to, well, honestly, I really don't know what they were talking about, because it kind of just, there was a lot going on. But it kind of alluded to one point that I guess the doors were supposed to open the conversation at one point for violence from police officers on Black Americans. So I do feel like they could have picked an African-American actor. But I feel like the tone was very, very monotone at first. I was just like, yo, like, are they gonna talk like this the whole movie? So my second thing was, I feel like at first I was kind of like, I mean, I get it, it's a movie, you know, but I was kind of irritated because I'm just like, I was sitting there and I'm like, if she's a lawyer, I understand that if she's a lawyer that she understands that there's probably no way in hell that he would ever win this case. But I just felt like it was like weird that her being a lawyer, she would jeopardize her whole everything and not only be the one to make the decision to run away, but would also make the decision to lock a whole ass sheriff in the trunk of his car, or in the trunk of their car, and then steal his car. I also, okay, so for the scene where they stopped and they were eating at Chubby's pissed me off too, because I'm like, y'all just killed an officer. You're on the run. You stop at Chubby's, and not only do you stop at Chubby's, I mean, you steal a sheriff's car. You lock him in the trunk of your car. You stop at Chubby's and proceed to eat in the open, in the parking lot. Not even eat in the car in the parking lot. Eat in the open in the parking lot, sitting in the bed of the truck that you just stole from a sheriff. In the open. I was irritated as hell when I saw that scene. I'm like, y'all are on the run. Like, what's really going on? Like, you just parlaying in this parking lot with this truck that you stole from this sheriff, and you're on the run because you just killed an officer, and y'all just parlaying in the parking lot eating Chubby's in the open. So it's like, if you were gonna do that in the open, what was the point of having the little boy go in and order the food for y'all? If you was then go sit in the parking lot in front of Chubby's, which had very open windows, and eat in front of everybody. I felt like that was like really weird. I also felt like it was really weird and super unrealistic that they're still on the run, and then they hit the little boy's dad, the hood nigga, and then they have time to take this hood ass, loud ass, obnoxiously loud ass nigga to the hospital. Hospitals are surrounded by cameras. There be all types of law officials outside of hospitals. It be people outside with ambulances and stuff. Again, cameras. But they find the time to drop him off in front of the hospital. And then just like they still, like, it's not even like they drop him off and then they rush away. They drop him off, they parlay in front of the hospital, and then they continue the journey. So I was annoyed at that, okay? And then the gas station scene, honestly, I feel like out of everything, I didn't understand, or no, I'll get to that second scene that I really just didn't understand. But the gas station scene, I feel like was so stupid. Like, it literally didn't add shit to the movie. I was just like, why? Like, for why? The gas station scene, okay. You're on the run. You stop at this gas station. You have a gun. You're supposed to be threatening this boy, the gas station attendee, so that he will give you free gas. Instead, you let yourself get bitched into giving the attendee your gun so he can hold it and play with it. And then he gives you gas for playing with the gun. That scene was so stupid to me. Like, it was literally so stupid to me. And I feel like, realistically, as a gas station attendant or whatever, if you were in that situation and somebody's kind of like, all right, give me some gas, I'm gonna shoot you, you're like, what? I don't feel like it made any sense for them to be in that situation and the attendee's main focus is not, okay, let me see if I can get out of this situation. It is, oh my God, can I play with your gun? What the fuck? Like, I literally had like a what the fuck moment. I was in there like, for why? That was a really stupid moment. Like, that literally was a super stupid moment to me. And then I just feel like, knowing that that person is threatening you with a gun to give them free gas, if the person indeed did give you the gun, why would you, instead of taking the gun and being like, all right, get the fuck out, I'm not doing this for you, you were trying to threaten me with this gun, you gonna hold the gun up to him for an uncomfortably long amount of time. You're not saying shit. He asking you what you're doing, so clearly he's scared. This person came in threatening you with the gun. Now the roles are completely reversed. You have literally reversed the roles. You are now in control of the situation. But instead, you hold this gun to him for a long ass amount of time, and then you say, oh my God, thanks, and then you give it back. What? Like, if that was me, I would have been like, bitch, you got me fucked up. You try to come in here threatening me with this gun. You're not getting this gun back. And because you were dumb enough to give it to me, get out. I literally could have done without that scene. I feel like that scene was just very it was like a space holder, but it was like a space holder that we didn't need. Like, we didn't need that scene at the fuck all. Like, I was very confused as to what that scene was supposed to add, what that scene was supposed to say. Like, what was the purpose of that whole entire interaction? I literally was at a loss. The other thing that was irritating me, because honestly, you guys, when I say it took me a good probably 40 minutes, maybe even 50, to get into the movie. At first, I was just irritated. I was like, they're doing way too much. I wasn't feeling it. So the other thing that was bothering me, Queen was walking around in all white as if she didn't have a whole ass bullet wound in her leg. You're walking around in the open with this bullet wound, and it's like, girl, y'all are on the run, so people know why you have this bullet wound. Like, it's obvious. Like, at this point, it is obvious. You have on all white, and you have blood all over your leg. She literally was walking around as if she wasn't in all white with blood all around her leg. When she came up to the uncle's house, they parked the truck dead ass in front of the uncle's house. She get out of the truck, she got blood running down her leg, she knocking on the door with bloodied and everything. Then you got this stolen ass truck dead ass in front of your uncle's house. Why? Like, there was space for them to park the truck other places, or park the truck down the street, ditch the truck, and then go to the uncle's house or something. Like, why would you park the truck dead ass in front of his house? Y'all, if I was ever to be trying to get away with some shit, I damn sure would be better at it than them. Goddamn. Baby. It just felt like they weren't trying to hide anything. Like, they were on the run, but it's like, y'all are on the run, but you're like doing this shit, all this shit just blatantly for everybody to see in front of everybody. And it was confusing me as to why they just didn't give a fuck about any of these aspects. The dancing scene, I wasn't feeling it at first because I felt like it was so stupid that they went dancing and you're on the run. I felt like that was literally, I just felt like they were just working off of one brain cell. Like, I was just like, what the hell are they doing? But then throughout the movie, I started to understand that I think it was more about the idea of fate, and if it's gonna happen anyway, then we might as well enjoy all of our last moments and just enjoy our life and live as if there's no tomorrow, because it's not promised. I kind of started to understand it going more and more through the movie, that was kind of what they were getting at. It didn't make it any less irritating, but I kind of like started to kind of understand that aspect. So when they went dancing, originally I was like, all right, y'all got time to literally stop and go dance. This movie, until I literally, what scene was it that I actually started to like the movie? Maybe it'll come to me while I'm going through these, but I did not like, I didn't like the movie until she did the monologue about the scars when they were out dancing, and then I was like, oh, okay, that was really pretty. I like that. And then I kind of started to loosen up. But at first, I was just sitting there like, they get on my goddamn nerves. What the fuck is this? That was literally my mood until the monologue about the scars. The dancing scene, also what pissed me off is y'all are on the run. You're working on limited funds. You had to try and stick up a gas station just to get gas. And then when he asked you what you want to drink, which he already shouldn't be asking you because y'all working off of limited funds and you're on the run. She says the expensive kind of bourbon. Y'all couldn't even pay to get gas in the damn truck. Why would you then be spending money on liquor? I was very confused as to the significance of that part. I was just like, yo, like, if I was on the run and working off and I was nickel and diamond, I'm not about to go and then go party and then be spending a shit ton of money to be out partying. Like, sense, where is it? Do we have it? Why? Because my thing is, you're trying to flee to Cuba after a full-blown murder. Like, why are you spending money on liquor? No. Again, I love the monologue about the scars. I feel like that was really pretty. When he says he wanted a ride or die, that kind of turned me off, because y'all know how I feel about ride or die culture. I just feel like it is embedded into, it's thrown at black women, it's embedded, and I feel like it isn't thrown at anybody else as much as it is us. And I do not feel like that is fair. I don't feel like it is healthy. I am not in support of ride or die culture. The horse. They pissed me off with the horse because I just feel like Well, I honestly, let me not say they pissed me off, because at this point, this is when I was starting to understand that I felt like they were more so going for the fate aspect. So it's like we either gonna make it or we not. So we might as well just get everything that we want to do out of the way. So I was like becoming a little more lenient to them taking their sweet ass motherfucking time. I still wasn't in agreement with it. Like in the movie, I was literally like, what the fuck? Like, go. Like, keep going. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was irritated, but I was becoming more understanding of why they were taking their absolute sweet ass time. I do feel like in somehow, some way, I feel like him getting onto the white horse and the horse being white was somehow symbolic. I've never been good at symbolism when it comes to like visual symbolism in movies. When we had to do that whole shit in English class and they would put on a movie and be like, oh, like, what does this symbolize and what does that stand? I was never good at that shit. So I feel like there was some symbolic importance there. I can't tell you what the fuck it was, but I feel like it was there. I loved the dialogue between them and Junior about being immortal, but I don't understand, with the father not being approving of their actions or what they were doing, I don't understand why he let his whole full-blown child go off with them on this walk. It's like, oh yeah, I don't agree with the fact that you killed a cop or that you just murdered somebody, but even though I'm not in agreement and I'm gonna charge you the regular price because I'm not in agreement with what you're doing, yeah, here's my son, you can go on a walk with him. Bitch, what? What? Because my thing is, who's to say that your child, they're on the run, everybody's looking for them. So who's to say that your child wouldn't end up in a showdown with them, between them and the police at any moment? Who's to say that your son wouldn't be with them and they get caught, and then that whole shooting scene, or oh, I just spoiled it, but, and they get caught, and then there's a shootout, and your child is now involved in the whole ass shootout between two people who are essentially on the America's Most Wanted list at this point, and you're gonna send your child into, it's not even about the fact that he sent his child with them, because we understand from the context of the movie that they're not killers, it was an accident, they're not violent people. But it's just the fact that you are still sending your child into the line of danger by even having your child around them. Everybody's looking for them, which means anything is liable to pop off with or around them, and you send your child to go on a walk with them. I also feel like it was weird that there was no reference in the movie as to how the father felt about his whole ass child then in turn being killed in a protest. They never once, like, and I don't even mean reference as in it had to be a whole segment, but just like when it comes to the visuals, because the movie was very like aesthetic or whatever, when it comes to the visuals, I feel like when they went back and did the flashback on the dad, I feel like they flashback on the dad, he's still in his mechanic uniform or whatever, and he's, you know, shedding a tear about them. But I feel like they could have had the dad looking at a picture of his son, or they could have had him, like, I don't know, finding out about his son. Like, there was no reference as to how the dad felt about his whole ass child being killed in a protest. Like, there was absolutely no reference. We just never came back or revisited that. I feel like that was very strange to me that they never revisited it or even gave any insight as to how the dad felt about it. You just lost a whole child. Like, how are we not getting any insight into that? Like, the dad's emotional state after losing a child. I feel like that was mad weird. Like, even if they would have had the dad, I mean, I guess, you know, you wouldn't make funeral arrangements as soon as you find out, but I feel like they even could have had the dad kind of like getting together some funeral arrangements or something and just kind of like showed us a glimpse of that or something. Like, I just feel like there could have been more done for the dad losing his whole ass child. I feel like it's really weird that we just kind of was like, oh, your son's dead, boop, okay. I feel like that was like really just dismissive of the situation. And the protest scene, I don't understand what the protest scene was supposed to symbolize, because at first I was like, oh, okay, like Maybe. But then when it came to the little black boy killing a black cop, I don't understand what that was supposed to symbolize. Like, what were we supposed to get out of that? Um, and why it was a little black boy killing a black cop. Like, I literally don't understand what the conversation message, what we were supposed to get out of that scene. The protest scene itself, if it weren't for that part, I feel like I would have kind of been like, oh, okay, like maybe, but that part just kind of it threw me off.
I'm going to be finishing out the rest of this video podcast style simply because of the fact that I had to go to work that day and I work nightlife, so I got off work super late and I didn't end up coming back and recording the rest of my thoughts. So I am going to continue on where I started or where I finished at. And I'm just going to say for the protest theme, I was confused because going into the protest scene, I guess I kind of understood that it was like unison and the black community was coming together in support of this runaway, I would say runaway couple, but they weren't really a couple. It was their first date, which also kind of ties into how, I mean, I'm not gonna say it couldn't have been a love story because it was the first day of the meeting, because honestly with Titanic it was, over a cruise is be like 2-3 days, so it's not like Rose and Jack were together for 2-3 years or anything like that. So I understood that they were coming together in unison for this couple, but I just really, like I said before, was not understanding. I think it took a turn from me understanding to me just being genuinely very confused when the black cop got killed, because his dialogue and the boy's dialogue was very vague and very, it just didn't have anything. I don't feel like their dialogue had anything of value in it. And then the boy was kind of seeming like he was, it was just strange to me. Like the boy was kind of like very hesitant to shoot him, and then out of nowhere he just shoots him. And I'm just not understanding how that escalated from them having this conversation and the cop is like, hey, like, you should go home, this really isn't like a good idea for you to be out here, to the boy essentially being like, I'm gonna live forever, fuck you, let me kill you right quick. I was just I'm still very confused as to what we were supposed to get out of that, what that was supposed to mean, what weight was that supposed to hold. I'm very confused altogether about that whole interaction. I am literally flabbergasted. I don't know. That was one of those moments where you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch? That was the moment that I had when I saw that scene. I was more so like, what the fuck did I just watch? And then again, their dialogue was just very vague. Like it was just very, it didn't allude to anything. It didn't bring up any type of like discussion. It was just very like vague and weird. So I will say, all in all, I know that from this review, it probably seems like I actually hated the movie. I actually didn't hate it, but it just had aspects where it was like they were just trying to do too much. And I feel like because they were trying to do too much, some things were left neglected and unfinished feeling per se. And that was really my takeaway from some things that I got out of the movie. Like some things were just like, I don't know. It was like one of those moments where it's like, I feel like maybe, I don't know if they were trying to be too deep, and that level of depth needs more time in certain spaces. Like, certain things were left as kind of like cliffhangers, where it's like if you're gonna try and be this deep, then it's like, okay, well then we need full explanations for some of these scenes that you just kind of like threw at us and then just didn't revisit. So that honestly will be my takeaway from the whole movie. Again, I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it. Honestly, I know I sound confused about whether I enjoyed it or not. The only reason being is because, again, it did take me a fairly long amount of time to actually get into the movie, because originally I was irritated about everything that was going on, because I was just like, yo, they just trying to do too much right now and it's pissing me off. And towards the end, I actually ended up loosening up again and enjoying what I saw. But I think, I don't know, maybe I just thought it was good because I ended up crying in the end. But I'm just an emotional ass bitch and it doesn't take a lot for me to start crying. So I feel like maybe that tied into why I was like, oh, okay, like it must have been good if it provoked some emotion out of me. But at the same time, it's like, I honestly, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was bad. I don't think it was a bad movie, honestly. I think the overall popular opinion from what was like hearing, from people around Charlotte or people on Twitter and stuff, before I saw the movie, everybody was saying, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. You got to see it. It's so good. So the popular opinion is it's a good movie. I think I probably agree with the popular opinion that it was a good movie. I definitely enjoyed it. But it just had a lot of aspects where I was like it just took me a minute to enjoy it, and then it had a lot of stuff where I feel like it was like, we just didn't need it. So, okay. Yeah. So that all in all is how I felt about this movie. I definitely feel like it's worth watching in my personal opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please leave your thoughts, comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.